In the meantime, public sector unions have roughly 6 weeks to sign on to the new compensation regime. If not, they will have to wait until next year to start receiving retroactive payments. Now, joining us to talk about that is Andrea Chisholm. Andrea.
Thank you very much, Giovanni. First of all, let me just remind you that a fiscal or financial year runs from April 1 to March 31 the following year. Now, the $338 billion that we mentioned earlier has been set aside to pay wages and salaries in the new fiscal year, which begins April 1, 2023. The finance minister made it clear that the allocation is only for payments due in that upcoming fiscal year. In fact, he said there was no room to carry over outstanding payments due by March 31 this year. So government officials have roughly 6 weeks to reach an agreement with the rest of the public sector.
We are therefore, Madam Speaker, working feverishly, making ourselves available to complete negotiations on the public sector restructuring in the remaining weeks of this year to facilitate fiscal year 2022-23 salaries in fiscal year 2022-23. Any of these amounts not paid this fiscal year will have to be paid over a number of years.
That means workers would have to wait until April 2024, the earliest, to start receiving back monies. And so Dr. Nigel Clark insists government officials will do everything possible to facilitate public sector unions. Teachers and police personnel are the two major outstanding groups.
Madam Speaker, even if the first time is a no, we are not deterred. That does not mean that we cannot get to a yes. There are only a few weeks left. We are available morning, noon, and night, weekday and weekend. Let's talk. Let's get it done.
Now, in response, opposition spokesman on finance Julian Robinson was again concerned about how the public sector compensation review is being implemented. Just yesterday, workers at the RGD went on a sick-out. Mr. Robinson reiterated that other public sector workers are restive. They're concerned about the process and they will feel that they are carrying home less money at the end of the process.
It requires, in my view, very specific consultation with the workers. In some cases, they don't believe the unions have appropriately represented the concerns that they have. In some of the public bodies, they don't believe the management has either aggressively or accurately represented the concerns that they have had to the ministry. And so you have many gaps that exist that has led to this restiveness.
There may be a need, Madam Speaker, much as it is not easily welcomed by representatives, for us to engage directly given the time that we have left. But we only do that with the consent of representatives. That would allow for technical questions to be answered and for, accuracy in the conveyance of information.
And so the clock is ticking. We're waiting to see how this plays out. Janella, it's back to you.